go. Oh man,
Crazy.
crazy man! I did not expect this. I mean, getting on my phone and just seeing that tweet, and then all the group chats were blowing up. Is this true? This tweet true? Is this trade really?
I thought it was I thought it was hacked for a second. Like, I'm not gonna joke. That's why I'm glad he sent the second text, because or the second tweet. I was literally I was gonna text him. Like, I was like, did you send that for real? Like, because and then when he sent the second one, I knew it was real. Like, he wasn't gonna he wasn't gonna, at that point. And then you started to see other people confirming it, a few minutes after. But I think, look, I actually think that this could work for both sides,
Okay.
because I let's start with the Lakers, obviously.
Okay.
Um, Look, as long as you can secure him, because remember, he could be a free agent in 2026, and he no longer can sign the supermax.
Okay.
Okay, so because that's done, he can only sign the supermax with Dallas. So now if he's going to sign a deal with the Lakers, I don't believe, and maybe on Monday we can get Bobby Marks on to have this
All
conversation,
right.
but I don't believe the Lakers can offer him more than anyone else. I maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe the Lakers. Well, I think the Lakers may be able to offer him one more year, but I don't think that they can offer him. They can't offer him a supermax. So the difference is basically an extra year, if I recall correctly. But I'm not a capologist.
I
But
hear you.
anyway, so as long as you can secure him and sign him to some extension, then this is a great move, because you basically gave him up for a 32-year-old Anthony Davis who you're selling at his peak, and you only gave up one of those picks that everybody wants really bad. Okay, so you have at least one, I think two of them potentially, that you still have that you can use to then get front court help, which now they desperately need.
Yes.
So yeah, and so whether that means Austin Reeves is part of that deal, because do you need Austin Reeves now that you've got Luka and LeBron? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe you still keep Austin Reeves because he's so cheap, right? He's only making $12 million. But I just think that, to me, there's a lot of questions. And by the way, we haven't even tackled the LeBron part of it yet. like, remember last year, Golden State wanted LeBron,
Yeah.
and he eventually said no. But the Lakers approached them, or the Warriors approached the Lakers, and the Lakers went to Rich Paul and LeBron, and they decided no, they wanted to stay. But does that change now because Anthony Davis is not there? Does LeBron feel like Luka can still help him win a championship, or at least, if they get another big, that team is even better than the team they had going into the season? I mean, probably. It just depends on who the big is, right?
Yeah.
But like, I just think that there's a lot of questions still to be answered, other than the initial shock of, holy crap, the Lakers got Luka, which is out of control.
So my thing is we see Anthony Davis. He had that sit down with Shams earlier last week,
Yeah.
right? And explaining to him, hey, look, I'm at my best when I'm at the 4. I feel like this Lakers team is 2 pieces away. We can really make a shot, make a run in the Western Conference, make a run for the NBA Finals. And then seeing him get traded to the Mavericks in a time where he didn't play tonight against the Knicks, right? And then the defense looked really good without AD on the floor. So pretty much where I'm trying to go with this, was this a move that Rob Pelinka looked at as like, okay, Anthony Davis said he wanted to be at the 4. We know how the Mavericks lineup is. What they run with Gafford, and obviously Derek Lively is out with that injury right now. He's out for some extended time.
Right. Right.
The move that Rob Pelinka looked at, okay, you only gonna you want to trade Luka Doncic, Max Kleber, Markieff Morris, but you're only gonna trade AD,
And a pick.
Max, and
Right.
20.
And Max Christie.
So is
Right.
this a
Yeah.
move
I
that?
mean, listen, honestly, if that call came, if I were Rob Pelinka and that call came from Nico Harrison, I'd be like, I'm getting punked, right? Like, this isn't real. Like, this is not really happening, right? I put the phone down for a second. I'd be like, hey, hold on, Nico, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I like put the phone on mute, and I'm like, what the bleep is going on here? And by the way, for the people in the comments, I know LeBron has a no trade clause. I literally just said the Lakers came to him after the Warriors asked about LeBron, and he said no.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that proves the point. He's got, of course, he's got no trade clause because they got to come to him. If they wanted to trade LeBron last year, they would have just done it if he didn't have a no trade clause. I mean, at least they could have done it just like they did AD. So So,
Exactly.
the fact they had to go to him was because he has a no trade clause. That was pretty much understood. But anyway, yeah, I would imagine Rob Pelinka must have felt like he won the lottery. Like honestly, that if you won the lottery, that would be like what that call must have felt like. Because I can't even think of like how Dallas. I mean, look, I'll tell you this. I know for a fact that there were concerns about the conditioning every year, even though I thought he came into the best shape he's been in his career, Luka, coming into this season, right? I know there's that, and you know, I get that part of it, and I get that the defense they didn't love that he never plays defense or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's like, man, I don't know, man, like you can figure that part out. Like I feel like they had a really good team. I mean, he dragged them to the finals last year. You know what I mean? Like it it just feels kind of short sighted on their part. Although again, I do feel like they are still in it this year because
Mhm.
Kyrie's playing at such a high level, AD's playing at such a high level, and they've got really good role players on
Exactly.
that team. So like they're still going to be in it, but it's just such a short-term play
Mm.
that's what's surprising to
And
me.
the Lakers are ahead of the Mavericks right now in the standings too. And it's crazy because, like, Anthony Davis said he wants to go to, win now team. They made reports that Anthony Davis gets to go to a win now team.
Right.
With the Lakers making that trade for Luka, knowing that they're higher than the Mavericks in the standings, right? What how difference will it make for that Mavericks team? Do we feel like the Mavericks will get back into that mix in the in between where the Lakers are at? Do we feel like the Mavericks won this trade, or did the Lakers really win this trade?
I don't know. I don't know if you can answer that right now. You know what I mean? Like because again, I think the Mavericks are clearly doing this in the short term, right? Like this is like a win now move. Anthony Davis is 32 years old. Anthony Davis is playing some of the best basketball he's ever played. Um, and Kyrie is playing at an incredible level. They're very similar in age. I think they're almost the exact same age. Maybe like a year apart. Um, and then again, they've got all those guys that they had from the team last year. um, so I think they feel good about this, if I had to guess. But if you're the Lakers, there's no way you can't feel great about this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you got a 25-year-old superstar who's a 5-time first team All NBA player, who's probably going to win MVPs. He's going to win a championship at some point, I think. Like, I, I thought he was going to win one with Dallas at some point. I didn't think it was like, I thought he'd at least win
Mm.
one. So I think with the Lakers, he'd win at least one, if not more. So it could be the potential rare trade where it all works out for everybody, just on different timelines.
Do you feel like with this trade, knowing that, okay, the issue now is Lakers don't have no true big man. We see that
Yeah,
Jackson
you,
Hayes
you
took on that.
you need to make a move for sure. Like
Oh,
I don't know what that move is though.
okay.
Like I don't know. Like I don't think you're going out there trying to get Jonas Valanciunas or
No.
something like that. Like I don't think that works. Like if you can tell me, I don't think the problem is everyone in the comments like Miles Turner, Miles Turner. I don't know if Miles Turner is going to be available. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I don't know if he is. The Pacers have been dangling or at least contemplating Miles Turner or trading Miles Turner for years, and then they never do it.
Mhm.
So I don't know what would be different this
Okay.
year
Okay. Man, but I'm just really surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm I'm not really a fan
of the deal
of the deal. I'm
for
not,
the
because
Lakers,
for the Lakers,
right?
because
In,
I
in the
feel
short term,
in the short term,
yes.
because you mentioned that, okay, are they going to be able to sign Luka in 2026? Are they going to be able to make him their true franchise player? And seeing how Anthony Davis was playing and seeing how Luka Doncic has been this season, he's been in and out of the lineup. I know he's been dealing with a couple injuries, a little lingering injuries. My thing is where I'm going with is I love the way Anthony Davis is playing with this Lakers team. I love the way this team is trending. I feel like you could really build something around Anthony Davis. I know that the Lakers try to give him the keys to be the alpha dog to take over, and we know he has troubles of doing so.
Right.
But I just feel like you can only find one of a kind of a guy like Anthony Davis. Like the way he does on that floor, defensively and offensively, you can't find that on. I mean, and Luka Doncic, I know he is a great offensive talent. He does a lot of things on the offensive end. He is also, in my opinion, a good rebounder too for his size. He's able to get a lot of good rebounds. But I just get on that end of the other end, the defensive end. What can he provide? Because I know I saw tweets that the Mavericks were concerned with his conditioning history. Doesn't really take that stuff seriously. Doesn't really. They don't feel like he takes that pride as far as getting in shape. So if the Lakers make this deal of making Luka Doncic their franchise guy, do you think Luka Doncic can be the face of
Yes.
the Lakers?
No question about it. Like I listen, I just told you, he's a 5-time first team All NBA player. He's gonna win I think he's gonna win at least one or two MVPs. And I thought even with the Dallas Mavericks, he was gonna win a championship. So I do think he's capable. I think that when you look at his skill set offensively, I mean, honestly, he's basically LeBron without the athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of like his strength. Like he's a big dude. Okay, like he goes in the lane and dudes just bounce off him. Okay. And then his shot, like his 3-point shot has become way more consistent over the years. He's a virtuoso when it comes to passing the basketball and handling the rock. Like I don't think there's any question about that. So I do think he is. I just think that you need to make sure the defense around him is great. He's somewhere between like LeBron with less athleticism and like James Harden in his prime. You know what I mean? Like I think that except bigger than James Harden. That's why I mean like almost like that's why the LeBron stuff he has this high an IQ as LeBron does and a similar game outside of the athleticism, but it's like it's in between like LeBron and James Harden. That's kind of what he's like the LeBron James Harden baby. um so but yes, so the answer to that is yes, 100% yes. But you have to build the right team around him. And Dallas came close. But they clearly felt like, hey, you know what? They didn't love certain things about his personality. That seems very clear. I kind of alluded to the stuff about conditioning. There's other stuff I think that, perhaps I'm not 100%, sure of right now, but there has to be something. Like, I don't think you just deal him like to the Lakers in the shadows for nothing. Like, I think you deal him um, to get a win now player because you feel like, hey, you know what? Maybe this is as far as he could take us. And we aren't comfortable moving forward with him based on his work ethic or personality or whatever. I mean, he's been there a number of years now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is now, 7 years, 8 years. Like it's not like he's been there for 5 minutes. So I think they know what they've gotten into with him, and I think that they're appreciative of where he's gotten them. But I think they must feel like I don't know if moving forward it makes sense for us based off the concerns we have, whether that's personality conflicts or conditioning, et cetera, or maybe a combination of all those things.
Mm.
But if you're the Lakers, you absolutely take that chance
Okay.
because where are you going? You have
Mm.
40-year-old LeBron and 32-year-old Anthony Davis, who you already said isn't a number one player, like a number one franchise player. So this guy has already proven he can take a team to the finals with good but not great talent, right? Like outside of Kyrie, did he have great talent last year?
Nah.
No,
Nah.
Jared Lively's going to be a really good player, I think, but he was a rookie last
Uh,
year. PG they have really good role players outside of Kyrie and Luca, but nobody that I sit there and say, "Wow, that guy is like a star."
I hear you.
So I think the Lakers are going to try to build a real team around him with at least one other superstar.
Yeah.
And I think that, that to me is the model. The model in the NBA moving forward is going to be similar to what OKC has, which is one legit super duper star that can bring you to the promised land, can score on three levels, and do whatever you need to do on offense and get guys involved, et cetera, et cetera. Like Shea. And then the rest of it is like a Jalen Williams who's like, he's like he's like a perfect two.
Mm.
He can do everything. He defends at a high level. He scores at three levels, right? But he's not like he's not a transcendent
Yeah.
talent, right? But he's an all-star caliber player as their number two. And then I think after that you get like as good role players as you can get, right?
Mm.
And I think that'll be the model under this current NBA system, with the second apron and all that stuff. That's the way you're going to have to build teams. If you can get the transcendent guy, you get him, and then you find the all-star caliber players and elite level role players to put around him. And I think that's what the Lakers have realized. They're looking at OKC and they're saying that's the way you got to build a team moving forward.
Man, man, that is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around all this, man. I've never seen a blockbuster trade like this. Two superstars getting traded for one another. So this is mind blowing. But Sedano, I appreciate you joining, man. I really do. I know you're a busy man, flying all
Yeah,
over.
well, I'm in Milwaukee and it's 1:19 in the morning, and I've got to get up in a little while. So I was happy to do it. I'm sorry I couldn't join you earlier, but crazy day. We'll talk about it more on Monday for sure.
All righty, sounds good, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, DeAndre, be good, man.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.